Hi, my lovelies. It's Tara here from Beyond This Reality, and I'm really excited to come to you and talk to you about the energies of February. And how do I even come up with the energies? Like, I'm really tapped in. So there's different ways that we have awareness, and my body is crazy aware of what's going on around and what's coming up. And the more that I bring it to other people, the more my body has ease, because really my body is constantly this space of reminder and tapping in and communication. Sometimes it feels like pain, but the moment that I receive the invitation and then start to communicate it, my body finds ease. So January was the month of self-nurturing. It really has been this cocooning month, very different from other years, where other years it's like this space of movement and action. This year, so many were finding like it was this space of nurturing, and some were resisting the space of nurturing, whereas others were getting in and really asking even more questions, like what ways can I show up for myself that bring me even more self-fulfillment? And I like to say, instead of selfish, we're self-filled. And what an awesome world if we would all really choose to be self-filled. It's really weird because my one tooth is like glowing. How crazy is that? But look, I have a glowing tooth. How cool, and what is that an invitation to other than distracting me? Anyways, carrying on to the month of February. The month of February, as I tap into it, is this space of connecting and acknowledging the people that you have chosen to surround yourself with. And I invite you to take a little bit of time at the beginning of February and really write down some people that you've chosen to surround yourself with and what qualities they have. Ask yourself if those qualities are an invitation for you to become even more of them, or if those qualities have shown up to nurture you. Some of them you might even be resisting, and some others you might be like, oh my gosh, I just wish. You can have all of them if you desire it. And some of them are just really showing up, not for you to have, but for you to be supported in a beautiful way. You don't have to be it. So I think of like the way that Joe's organized and he loves to plan things. I don't need to become that. I just get to acknowledge the fact that he shows up in my world and is the support of that, right? And then I have other friends who are extremely exuberant, and it brings me so much joy. And I love how they show up and in the way that they are. I have, one of my sons is like, he loves to debate and he loves to like share knowledge. And I love to receive that. Like it's a lot of fun for me to receive and be around and be around his funny. And then, my other son is like really into nurturing and closeness and like the energetic bonds of being close to another person. I get to receive that. So write down what these things are, right? And then there might be some invitations in there. There might be some things that inside you you're saying, what would it take for me to be more like that? So like I have a client actually, a client who's a friend. All my clients are really friends, who I adore. And the way that she has shown up in her business and chosen and made action to really exponentialize it and like grow it and with speed, right? I'm like, I'll have some of that. And so we get to say and invite our bodies to go, that lights me up. That really lights me up. So what would it take for me to follow the energy and the inspired action to go there? It doesn't have to be hard. But the more that we look at who we're surrounded by, acknowledge to ourselves that we brought them in, and then acknowledge the traits or the capacities that they have that are either supporting or inviting us to more in ourselves, the more our lives just unfold or blossom as if by magic. So what would it take for this to be that kind of month where you really acknowledge yourself for creating these relationships. And the more that you acknowledge, the more those kind of relationships are going to come in. And how awesome is that? There is no shortage of brilliant people, you know, and the more that you ask and acknowledge, the more that will rise into that place, and the more that we will rise into an even more blossoming space of being full color, you know, like fully the colors of who we are. So I just give you guys that this month. I'm going to come back in a week and have something else, but let's start the month of February off with acknowledging who's around us, why we called them in, the fact that we did call them in, and what the gifts and invitations are that they're being in our life. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.